What are like the top 5 ways people ruin their credit?
Overutilize their card way too much, and then they find out that their score has dropped. So online, really, you want to be 30% or below, but ideally, you really want to be 9% or below. You never want to pay it down to zero because you want to show banks that you're using money. Now, what I tell people in my funding rounds, where my clients get anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000 on average, sometimes more, depending on use case scenario, is if they can get their credit card utilization down to a 2 to 5%, if they have the budget to do so, that puts them in the optimal spot, like the best spot, in order to get rounds for funding. Now, if people don't believe me, literally go on Credit Karma and it will say 9% or below, and it puts you in the green. Too many inquiries. Even if you have good credit, you can still get denied. You can get denied with an 800, an 850. But if the only thing on there on your credit report is one credit card, it's not going to happen. The score is irrelevant. What matters most is what's on the credit report. So when a lender pulls your report, even though you have a high score, because you have more than 2 to 3 inquiries, it makes you look desperate to the banks. Because ideally, you should only have 2 to 3 inquiries for every 2 years on your credit report. Anything outside of that number is overkill. And I've seen cases where clients will go to buy a car, and then the dealership will run out their credit. Next thing you know, they have a good credit score, but they got 10, 20 inquiries just with TransUnion, or just with Experian, or just with Equifax. That's second thing. What else am I thinking?
Utilization, inquiries.
Utilization, inquiries, personal information. So ideally on a credit report, you should only have one name, one phone number, and one address, and no employer information, as it serves no benefit to the consumer. Now, every time people move, they always put a different address on there, right? So you really want to check your credit report and make sure that those addresses that's reflecting on your current credit report are accurate and are up to date. Anything that is out of date, remove it. Lack of accounts, I see that happen very frequently. So a lot of people, like I was saying before, a lot of people say oh yeah, I have an 800, I have a 740. Okay, and you think you're gonna get approved with a $20,000 Capital One venture card? It's not gonna happen, because Capital One is gonna look at your score and be like, okay, but when they pull your report, the only thing that you have on there is a $500 or even $1,000 credit card. Yeah, they're not gonna give you $20,000. This is not gonna happen. So you just have lack of positive accounts. Too many credit builder accounts. So everybody hears the marketing tactics, what was it? Tomo, Kickoff, Boost, Self-Rent, all these credit builders promising you the world. Oh, we're going to increase your score and your credit's going to look good and you'll be starting to get approved for things. Every time you sign up for a credit builder, it's going to be $20, $30 a month. So you're adding on all these credit builder accounts thinking you're going to have the best credit ever, but in reality, banks know that you're paying for those lines. They've caught on. They don't hold as much weight as they used to. The only credit builder that I always recommend to people is one bank. It's called creditstrong.com. No, I do not own that company. So creditstrong.com is great because it reports that trade line as a primary bank out of Austin, Texas. It doesn't say creditstrong.com on your credit report. So if you pay for Self, it'll show Self. If you buy Tomo, Kickoff, or Boost, it'll show us Kickoff, Tomo, and Boost. Banks know who those are. But this one, it shows as a primary bank out of Austin, Texas. So rather than reporting it as an authorized user trade line, it looks like a primary, which looks a lot better on a credit report. And too many people sign up for too many credit builder accounts thinking it's going to be the magic wand that they need. But in reality, that is not the case.
Okay, so now what if I know it's probably gonna try to condense, it might be a little hard. What are some of the crazy unrealistic shit that's happened to 10% of people rather than the 90%?
Someone having a 720 credit score thinking they can get approved for $100,000.
But in terms of like ways they destroyed their credit in a way, like is that all circumstantial? Like at that point where somebody just like opened up 50 cards or utilized 100% of their credit for the last couple of years? Is that like kind of what that is like?
Yeah, pretty much. Overutilizing. Like overutilizing your card anywhere over 30% is hurting you than helping you. I mean, you can max. The thing is, like, you can max the card out. That's no problem. But just make sure you pay at least 9% or below of the balance 2 days before your statement end date.
What do you think of all these like pay now or buy now, pay later things? Do you think that's contributing to people like utilization being like all screwed up and like people's credits tanking?
Not necessarily. So buy now, pay laters are not technically like lines of credit. They're technically considered like loans in a sense because it's a fixed amount that you're paying on. With credit cards, you have variable amounts that can change because you could buy something, pay the bill, but buy something again, and the bill only goes up. When you have a loan, aka Klarna, Affirm, Clarity Bank, those are all loans because those are fixed amounts. You can have Klarna, Karma, whatever the other names are, any buy now, pay later options on your credit report, and you can have a ton of them. That's more than fine. But just make sure you are not late, because just like any other collection, just like any other card, they're just like any other card. So they're going to report your late payment or your derogatory status to a collection company. And the next thing you know, you got Klarna with late payments and you have a collection company on your credit report. Yeah. I'm giving you some mad game right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, my credit score is about to go up. What do you have any stories that like of like really kind of like a story that you could share with me that I could use in terms of like coming up with other kind of prompts like that somebody got themselves into a really shitty position? Like
stories.
Or like, why do you think, I mean, I know you gave me the 5 reasons, but like, besides those reasons, like, what is the mentality people have that get them into that kind of like predicament?
People think I have a fucking magic wand and I can fix their credit in 30 days when they have 100 collections on there.
No, but what do you think the mindset is? Like, what do you think that like mindset is that gets people in that position besides like before they even consider you? Like, how do you think somebody gets their credit score? Like, how does that even happen? Wouldn't people like care? And like,
people usually find out about their bad credit situation until it's too late. So most consumers, most people in the United States don't really pay attention to stuff like that until it's too late. And there's nothing wrong with that because life gets in the way, of course. But if you're working a job for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the case may be, and you don't necessarily need credit because you don't use credit, you won't know if you have a good credit score or a bad credit score unless you go to use the credit, aka when you're trying to move to a place, when you're trying to get a house, when you're trying to get approved for a car. That's when you find out. Like, people can have bad credit for years, 2 years, 3 years, even 10 years. And sometimes the second they sign up with me, they think that I have that magic wand and I can get it removed quick, fast, in a hurry, but it doesn't work like that.
So it's almost like what are some, I know you just gave me like a really good foundation to work with, like the 5 things, but like what are some preventative things people can do to, I know people get busy, like what are some things that you would recommend, value content in terms of like, hey guys, like here's
I'll give them the Grant Cardone rule. You look every single day when you wake up from bed, you look at your bank account and you look at your credit score. That's the best thing I can recommend. And that's also a manifestation of energy, because the more attention you pay attention, the more energy you pour into something, the more it naturally will grow, whether you love it or hate doing it.
That's interesting. See, that's a like let's tap into like the mentality
feel like I'm on an interview right now. Yo, these are fire questions. I hope I'm giving good answers.
No, you are, dude. You are. That I like like the mindset. Sometimes like people come to you, so it's all related to each other. Like people come to you because they get put in a bad position, right? Like that's probably like what 99% of your clientele is, like people in bad positions that need to get out of them.
Correct. And they have
like
ways to do so.
But like you've dealt with the worst of the worst. You've dealt with like people in shit positions. So if you had to provide value content, and look, don't worry, it's not. I don't think it's going to affect any business, because even if you gave people the golden rule on how to not get their credit in a bad position, I think people would still get their credit in a bad position. But what people like to see is like hope. What people like to see is like value content of like, oh, this guy is telling me how to not get my credit in a fucked up position. Like, or he's at least helping me try to prevent. Is it going to happen? Absolutely not. Because you can't, in my opinion, with mindset, like you can't change a broke mindset. You can't change like somebody that makes $1 million but blows it all on cars and all this crazy shit. Like that's a broke mindset. Like that's Rich Dad Poor Dad's like broke mindset. You know, like so like what would you like in kind of like a mentality shift, like kind of what you said, like Grant Cardone when you were talking about manifestation, like what's kind of like a entrepreneur, like wealth, credit building, like how can people like get out of those holes, or at least prevent them, or at least like think that they're preventing getting into that position? Like what are some like mentalities, like I want to talk about the mental side of things, like the psychology side of things that like get people in these shitty positions.
I would say start having goals. Start writing down your goals. Build it. Use a goal board, use a dream board, and actually think about what you really want to do with your life, because everybody's on this earth. God gave us souls. God gave us bodies. We have to use it. We have to use a purpose for it. Everybody is on earth for a purpose. Your entire job while you are here on earth is to figure out what your purpose is. And the only way you're going to figure out what that purpose is by trying a whole bunch of different things. But in order to try those things, you got to work towards something, whether it's a car, whether it's a house. And then that's when you start paying attention to, oh, how can I get there? Like back when I was like living check to check, I never told myself, hey, I'm broke, I can't afford that. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, that's too much money. My mentality was, how can I afford it? And that forced me to think differently.
Do you think that rule applies with building your credit back? Like the mind shift of like, I'm in a bad position, but obviously, you know, they have resources like you, but that can't be the only fix, because you might be able to get them out of a bad position, but almost kind of like a drug thing, like people relapse.
Well, you just got to be consistent with it. I mean, obviously, you hear it online all the time. Oh yeah, be consistent. Consistency is key. As corny as it sounds, as recycled as much as the information gets recycled, it's very true. Because the lifestyle that you live now, or it's like learning a different language, right? If you could be the master of Spanish, and you like, I'm Filipino, right? I can speak fluently Tagalog, but only when I'm around it, because I'm not using it on my day-to-day basis. My wife is away.
Yeah. You don't use it, you lose it.
So you don't use it, you lose it. Exactly. So at the end of the day, it just comes down to writing down your goals. And when you're looking at your goals, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want that car? How bad do you want that house? How bad do you want to be able to provide for your family? How bad do you want to be able to send money to your mom or your dad every single month because you can't, because they need it? Our parents took care of us all of our childhood. Our moms gave birth to us. So in adulthood, it's our turn to take care of them.
Absolutely.
My thing is, like, there's 3 stages of life that everybody goes through. The first stage of life is when you're a baby, when you're a kid, right? You learn. in your middle age, and when you're middle age, like after high school and all that stuff, you earn, and then when you're older, you return. So learn, earn, and return.
Learn.
That's what I'd say.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, no, I'm the same person off camera, on camera. The only difference with me is that I am a little shy in person, but after I get comfortable around you, yeah, you're gonna want to kick me out the house. Promise.
Let me see. Just a question, and this is I'm trying to think of like personal questions as well that probably a lot of people have as well. Like, how do you get rid of an old credit card without hurting your credit?
How do you what?
How do you get rid of an old credit card without hurting your credit? Because isn't it if you close on a card, then you kind of like.
It depends on the age. If the credit card has no late payments and it's been open under 2 years, you know, you can just call the bank and just close it. No big deal.
Oh wait, what'd you say? Under 2 years?
Yeah.
What happens if it's an old account? For example, I have an account that's been like 9 years old, and I never use this card besides like maybe once a year.
So credit works in a pie. So 35% of your entire credit portfolio is made out of payment history. Whenever you close a credit card, it's going to affect your score dramatically because of the age that's attached to that card. If it's under 2 years, it won't affect it as much. If it's over 2 years, even though it's positive and you close it, your payment history goes lower. It's just like when you pay off your mortgage, your score drops. When you pay off an auto loan, your score drops because the account gets closed. You lose the history behind it.
Oh wow, okay.
Yes.
That's interesting. So
yeah, this should have been a YouTube video. Oh my god.
What would you recommend? What would you recommend somebody do in like a situation like me that I just don't want this freaking card, but like, do you just recommend keeping it open?
Just keep it.
What is like one common thing? Like, what's the most common thing people come to you and say? Like, again, this isn't you see the damage, but like, what's the mindset that people come to you with? Like, when they come to you, they're like, Christian, bro, or whatever. Like, my credit tanked. Like, what do you think? This is a good one. What is the most common thing people come to you and say? Is it like
get a house and get a car?
What was it?
Get a house to get a car.
But besides that, what's the thing that when like you start talking to them, like, I'm assuming this is from my idea. It's like, are they kind of in denial in a way, like that
no.
They let their score get that low for, oh, I made this, like, oh, I can't believe this happened. Oh, I can't believe it. Do you think like,
no, people are pretty much open and honest with me when I hop on the phone call with them because my approach is a little bit different. All my clients, I close them through text messaging. I don't really close people on a sales call. It's not like, and I try to sound as humbly as possible when I say this. It is not worth my time hopping on a 15-minute, 30-minute sales call just for $1,000. I'd rather close that in the form of a text message because I know how to do it and I have the audience to do it and I have enough content just to prove to you that I can do it and I can get the job done. Because at the end of the day, all of my leads they're inbound. I don't do no cold calling. Leads come to me. If people say, how do you know you're not scammed? How do I know it's not a scam? I'd be like, Mr. Customer, with all due respect, you reached out to me. Did I call you? No, you called me. Because they know that they need the service. They just don't know who to trust nowadays. But when you see my big ass when you see a fat Asian guy on camera just yelling at people how to fix your credit, with no socks on in the room, you're like, okay, this guy doesn't just want to have a conversation over a transaction. He actually like wants to know my situation, and I think I'm gonna hire him to get the job done. That's why I charge $2,000 to fix people's credit. I'm very good at what I do, very confident in my process. But I'm not going to hop on a phone call with you and only to get a therapy session or a rebuttal. Oh, I need to talk to my wife. Oh, I need to think about it. I used to be a sales manager of 20 people. I'm very good at sales, but it's just not worth my time to hop on a sales call for $1,000. It's just not.
Do you think that in your space, I'm sure there are a lot of legitimate people, but like there are definitely a lot of scams, right? Like, type of thing, like definitely.
Yep. Sorry, I got a Rolodex of all the scam credit repair companies.
What was that?
I got a list of all the scam credit repair companies.
What do you think? How does somebody determine whether if they're dealing with a scam credit card company or like a legitimate one? Like, what are some signs that you would like recommend? Like,
Can you contact them? Do they have a phone number? What is their forms of communication? If the only form of communication is through an app or email, it's probably a yellow or red flag. But if you can pick up the phone and call them and they potentially can pick up, or they have a voicemail, or they reach out to you via text message or an actual phone call like a human being, then it's probably a green flag.
what are some other things that like guarantees or promises made? Like, what are some things that like you would see online that you'd be like, that's bullshit?
I mean, of course, I would say like online reviews, but I would be lying to you if I said I had good reviews, because my thing is I have over 400 clients. My company made almost $500,000, and I have no Google reviews. So I wouldn't even say reviews. I'm sure like reviews help and all. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
So it's just like
Are
main
there
thing
any, are
is
there
like
any other things that like people say online that like you
just
being a
just
legit?
just look at them and just have like a trust in your gut. Like follow your intuition, because that's God's voice. You always want to follow your intuition, because half the times you're probably right. Just look at them, watch their videos, see how they talk, see how they explain their stuff. Like you have credit repair companies that do all different forms of lead acquisition, aka marketing. You have people that do dance and rap songs, and you have people in a professional suit and tie talking about how credit works, or you have my dumbass yelling in front of a camera with no shoes on. But listen to the words that come out of their mouth versus how they're how they appear on camera.
I like that.
Yeah, you're a good interviewer, bro.
But thank you.